Have you ever stopped to think about what a simple school book can tell you? I mean, not just about math or history, but about the actual soul of a culture. Well, today, we're doing something a little different. We're cracking open a 7th grade Tamil textbook, and we're going to treat it like a cultural artifact. Okay, let's get into it. Because that's really the big question we're asking today. We're basically going on a journey to see what values, what kind of history, and what worldview is being passed down to the next generation in Tamil Nadu, India. And you know what? The answers are pretty surprising. So get this. Before you even get to a poem, before a single grammar lesson, this is one of the very first things a student reads. It's printed right there on the title page. Now, this isn't some legal footnote. It's a huge moral statement. The book establishes this powerful foundation of social justice right out of the gate. And then, right after that powerful message, students are greeted by 2 anthems. First, you have the Indian national anthem, celebrating the unity of the whole country. But immediately after, there's the Tamil Thai Vajthu, which means invocation to Mother Tamil. It's this beautiful ode to the language itself, imagined as a mother. So what this does, and it's pretty brilliant, is it nurtures this dual identity, a pride in the nation, for sure, but also a deep, personal pride in the Tamil language and its unique heritage. Okay, so let's flip to the first chapter and see how they actually build on this foundation. The curriculum doesn't kick off with boring grammar rules, no. It starts by celebrating the Tamil language itself as this incredible source of identity, morality, and pride. What's so interesting is how the very first poem, Engal Tamil, Our Tamil, talks about the language. See, students are taught that Tamil isn't just another subject you have to pass. It's a moral compass. It's described as a path to knowledge, a tool for love, something that gets rid of fear, and a whole philosophy based on nonviolence and truth.
And the book doesn't waste any time introducing these young students to the incredible depth of their own history. They're learning about things like Sangam literature, which is this ancient body of poems that's over 2,000 years old. This just immediately creates this connection to a super profound and ancient literary tradition right from the get-go.
And the book uses this amazing literature to teach values. Just check out these 2 stories from a poem. There's a chieftain, Pyri, who sees a jasmine vine struggling, so he just gives it his golden chariot to climb on. Then you have a king, Kumanan, who literally offers his own head to a poet as a reward. The big idea here is that the language itself is shown to inspire these legendary acts of generosity and selflessness.
All right, so after classical poetry, the book just seamlessly pivots into folk traditions. The very next lesson is actually a script for a puppet show, which is a really popular art form in rural areas. And it's packed with all these proverbs that teach practical, real-world wisdom about life and work.
So in the story, there's this little boy who wants to play instead of studying. He goes and asks an ant to play with him, but the ant hits him with this proverb. It's just such a beautiful, simple way of saying we've got to take care of what's essential first, our work, our food, before we start thinking about luxuries like putting flowers in our hair. You know, needs before wants.
So, through this tiny little character, this puppet show is teaching this huge lesson about responsibility and our duty to our families and our community. It's not a boring lecture. It's a story being told by an ant. How cool is that?
The boy doesn't give up, so he asks a bee to play next, and bam! He gets another proverb. This one's all about self-reliance, the idea that just having a bunch of people standing around won't fix a problem. You have to take action yourself. You have to plant your own hands to do the work. It's a really powerful message about personal effort.
All right, so from language and folk wisdom, the curriculum then kind of zooms out to the world around us, the environment. It works to build this deep appreciation for nature, but it's always connecting it back to culture and poetry.
Just listen to this amazing line from a poem about the forest. It doesn't just say, hey, the flowers are pretty. It compares them to the countless lamps that are lit during the Karthigi Deepam festival, which is a major cultural event. See what it's doing? It makes nature not just something you look at, but a real part of a shared cultural experience.
But it's not all just poetry. The book also delivers straight-up science. Right here, students get a super clear, data-driven look at Asian versus African elephants. They learn that a female leads the herd and that an elephant eats a whopping 250 kilograms of food every single day. It's this perfect blend of the poetic and the practical.
And this part is absolutely fascinating. The textbook basically debunks the whole lion is the king of the jungle thing we all grew up with. It actually presents the tiger as the true measure of a forest's health. And get this, it calls the tiger a gentlemanly animal because it only hunts when it's hungry. So it's positioned as a symbol of balance and necessity, not just raw power.
Okay, so We've seen lessons on social justice, on language and history, folk wisdom, ecology. So it really makes you wonder, what's the grand vision here? What is all of this actually building toward?
Well, to find the answer, we just have to flip back to the beginning, to the preface or the Makavuri. This is where the people who made the curriculum lay out their entire philosophy, and honestly, it is remarkably forward-thinking.
Just look at these goals. They want to shift learning away from just memorizing stuff to actually creating things. They want to instill cultural pride while also giving kids the tools they need to succeed with science and tech. And this last one? Wow. They want to transform exams from something you dread into a joyful part of learning. I mean, just imagine that.
So, when you put it all together, the big takeaway is this. This 7th grade textbook is so much more than a list of subjects. It's a carefully designed blueprint for shaping a complete person, someone who's creative, compassionate, really proud of where they come from, but also totally ready for the modern world.
And that brings us right back to where we started. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What were the hidden messages and the core values that were tucked away in the textbooks you grew up with? What kind of blueprint were they using to shape you?